Good evening, conscious creators. It's Jean. I'm here tonight. It's actually Tuesday night, and we have a special edition tonight, but you won't get to see it until Thursday. We're going to upload it to you Thursday, so we're going to maybe tweak it a little bit and get it ready. But anyway, welcome to the Conscious Creators Toolbox. You know, that's an opportunity to kind of hone in on your, or kind of focus in on your creative abilities and your creative skills, and get an opportunity to, to do some hands-on with them. We talk about various properties or various abilities and our powers like intuition and willpower and faith and belief and name some. Let me see. Name a few. Peace, love. Love. Love for sure. Light. In fact, this month, the month of June, we are talking to light workers. We're introducing light work as a practice, introducing it to you all. I know that most of the conscious ones out there know what it's all about. But this month we're talking to unique, particular, specific light workers. We had an opportunity to talk with a hypnotherapist, and she also was a angel medium, and a couple of other things that Sandra did. We talked to her last week. And the week before, we talked with Elizabeth Gaiman. Remember Elizabeth? She was here, and we talked to her, and she shared, she was actually the Reiki master, and she talked about her practice. And she also kind of talked about some other things that she did. She kind of gave you a little bit of background, like how it all started with her. So tonight, I am so excited. I'm excited because we have another Reiki master. And again, light workers are they're unique and they sell in themselves, and they latch on to one healing modality. It's Mercury retrograde right now. I'm tie-tongue. Does that to me every time. But anyway, Joal Bioc is here. Now I said it right. Bioc.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, he's here tonight with me, and he has been, Joel is a Reiki master. He's been practicing Reiki as a profession for about a little over a year, about a year now. But before that, he was even practicing, or he was, just kind of had a love for it and a passion for it, because like most light workers, you just you have the passion. Some of us are born with that gift, and born with that desire and that passion to do what we do. Healing, manifestation, mediums, hypnotherapy, all of those things are all in the area of light and love work, and it comes sometimes. It's in our DNA. We're born with it. We're born to do it. And I'm sure that Joel is going to tell you his history of it, and you're going to find that I'm telling the truth, that it is a passion. Anyway, besides that, we come from all walks of life. We can be teachers. We can be preachers. We can be garbage collectors. We can be the mailman, the milkman. We can be the postal deliverer. We can be the postal worker. We can be the truck drivers. We can work at the gas stations. We can work at the department stores. Healers and light workers are people like yourself. And if truth be known and truth be told, if you sit down and really kind of think about it, you probably have a desire to see some healing yourself and your loved ones, and some of the people that you see. I know you run into some sick people. Everybody's got have an opportunity to, or I don't want to say an opportunity, or just a chance to kind of have an association with someone that's ill. And I don't mean physically ill. You can be mentally ill, emotionally ill as well. You can be ill spiritually, and light workers have that passion to see you whole, and not just whole in your physical body, but whole in your mental and your emotional body and your energetic, those energy levels about that. So light workers deal with energy, and they deal with healing on an energetic level. And Joel's going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I'm going to come back at the very end and make the announcements. I'm not going to do that tonight because we are recording, and I probably haven't pulled together all the announcements I want to give. So I'm going to do that at the end of the session tonight. Probably the first thing I'll do when I'm before I upload it on Thursday. So we're here on Tuesday night, and we happen to be at the Interfaith Truth Center in Austell, Georgia, US of A, because like we all know, if you are a member of the group page, you know that we've got members from all over the world. In fact, we have people over in Britain, in England.
Oh wow.
Some folk over,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Some people over and some folk down in Africa. I could name the countries, but I don't want to mess up any names, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway, you know who you are out there, and we appreciate you. We appreciate you being a part of the Conscious Creators group page. So proud of you being awakened and enlightened and aware and conscious, and want you to continue to be so. And just be, I want you to be warned that just because you're awake today don't mean that you're going to always stay awake. So be deliberate with your awareness. Be deliberate with your consciousness. Be proud of it and work on it and maintain it. And do not let the cares of this crazy world that we live in and the happenings with the COVIDs and 1920s or whatever. don't let that lull you back into a sleep. Because we need to be awake. This is 2020. This is the jump off. This is the jump off year, y'all. So this is the roller coaster is kind of zigzagging around, and it is it's just be ready. This is a decade to be reckoned with. Change is coming. If you don't feel the shift, you may want to nudge yourself because you may not be awake, because there is a shift going on. Okay, so without further ado, and I am going to. I have my girlfriend laughing. I told her that I aspire. My aspiration is to be Oprah Winfrey interviewer. So I'm new at this. and it's kind of exciting. I kind of like it.
Yes.
I kind of like it. So I'm improving. So I'm going to give Joal the mic, the floor, and I'm going to sit back, and after he's talked a little bit, and tell you about himself, I'll come back and ask some of the questions that you have sent me, that I'm envisioning or I'm picking up that you may want to ask, and I'm going to ask them on my own too. So without further ado, I present to you the Reiki Master of the day, of the hour, for you, just for you, brought here just for you, Joal Bioc. Joal.
Hello everybody out there in the world of Facebook and YouTube. And welcome, and thank you, Jean, for having me in your space and time and energy. My name is Joal Bioc, and definitely would love to bring in my team, my divine team as well. Basically, this is not my show, it's you guys' show, it's everyone's show, so they're gonna be doing most of the talking. But so how I started, what you mentioned before, I grew up in the Philippines, came here when I was 10, and just live a very, I guess you could say, basic life. You go to school, go to college, and then you try to find a career, and then kind of like trying to find marriage and just the basic foundation of life. And then you just kind of die. And so I think at that moment I really started to be aware of those, and I was looking for something else. I think the biggest event happened was 1 year in college, where I was definitely going through my changes. I was going through school, and then had some family stuff going on, and girlfriend breaking up with me, and ex-girlfriend, and all this stuff just started to pile up. And then that emotional feeling of like just going down the drain. And you know how I think everyone will kind of resonate with this, where you're just like, what is going on? Like, what? Help me, God. Right?
Prayer.
Right, the prayers.
It's called praying and meditating.
Yes, correct. And so I wasn't really into all that until I got to college. I grew up as Catholic, and didn't really know, when we came here, we stopped going. I was going in the Philippines a lot, but here we just stopped going because we just didn't know where to go and things of that nature. And so I didn't get back to it until when I was in college, where I truly get into like Christianity. And so but the main thing that happened was 4 years ago, I was in Birmingham, Alabama, and I was training for a half marathon, and the biggest thing happened was that I got into a an accident, but knowing now it's not an accident because it was more of like an awakening for me. I got into a near-death experience. I was crossing the road and basically got hit by a car. I mean, I don't know why I'm laughing, but because it's just
Because you're live,
yeah,
and you
I'm
made
here.
it.
Yeah,
You made it.
I came back.
You beat the odds.
Right. And so I had a my near death experience was at that moment where I was kind of woke up consciously, and I was in this world of darkness. So I felt like this world of darkness was like the void, the nothingness. And then I started to look around. I had senses, I can feel like I had all the senses that we have, but then I looked down in a conscious level, and then I saw myself as a light, like pure bright light, just light. No body, physical body. So I believe that we are all light, and we're just in a vessel of our body. And so after that, I just felt this most unconditional love from source. Just very pure love, just love. And then that's what we all are as well, is just love and pure love, pure light and love and light. We hear all these things every day, because that's what we are. And and then the last words that was said to me was, everything's gonna be okay. And then I woke up at the hospital, trying to get up, and I was trying to use the bathroom because I didn't know what was going on. And then the nurse, because I was trying to get up, and the nurse was like, hey, you can't get up. I was like, why not? Your leg's broken. So basically I had
Both legs?
just one, my left leg. So I have a rod in my leg now, but inside my bones, but that's okay. Like the last word was said, everything was gonna be okay. And so throughout those, I was actually depressed for a few months just because I was trying to process what just happened. And so I went home, and through positive confirmation and like just very positive help from my family and my friends, I healed pretty quick. Like I wanted to get back to work because I wanted to provide, help my family. And so like 3 months in, and that was very like interesting to me because I didn't know how I did it. Because when I was going through physical therapy, there was another guy that happened kind of exact same thing, but he had a car accident, and then but this one, his right leg was broken, kind of like mine, but he was still trying to heal. Like it's almost been a year, so he was in physical therapy for a year, and I'm here with the 3 months. But then I realized what was happening to him was that there was no support. It was all like very like, I think his family wasn't supporting him, and very like stagnant energy that was like putting on his mind and his downloads like, oh, you're not gonna be able to heal. He was just not very motivated in healing himself. And so and so when I got out of the hospital, like this was like 5 days, and then the 5th day I got out, I took my first, I think this was very crucial to me too, was I took my first breath, like just the air
From being outside?
Yeah, and I cried. I'm just gonna be honest, I cried just because it was like, that was the gift. It's life. The gift was life. And experiencing life was like Source's gift for us.
Kind of an epiphany.
Yeah. And then so after that, probably took me, and then as I healed, I started to just question everything, start questioning my faith, Christianity. No, like I said, no judgment on any religion. I think that it's all love at the end of the day. But just started questioning what I was learned before, and then I just it didn't resonate with me anymore. It was something else that was like bringing back up to the surface of who we truly are, and we are part of Source. We are God, we are Source, we are love and light. And so connecting to that Source, I was looking for that that whole 3 years, 4 years from now, I was looking for source. I was working to that love that I felt when I was into that near-death experience. And then also the healing part of it. I was like, how did I heal so fast? You know, like.
So you did go through that process of okay.
Yes, I guess you'd call it revelation.
Yeah.
And because things was just didn't make any sense. So positivity and just really healing myself and knowing and looking for that love, that unconditional love from source. And so probably a year ago I started kind of looking into energy, and what she mentioned earlier, like light working was about energy, and I truly understand what energy was until I actually went to one of your class about energy. And it really just clicked in when you said that energy is just fuel of the universe. And that's because I was trying to define it really different, but that was just like a perfect definition of energy. It's just fuel, like everything is a fuel of energy.
Everything is energy. Right.
Yeah, and so that really just hit me. And I was like, whoa, it's so easy to explain what energy was. And so then I started looking. I was like, all right, what is energy, and what is frequency, vibration, and all these metaphysical words just started to get into my reality. And then I realized that we all can do all this work. So I got into I looked it up, and then Reiki kind of popped in about a year ago, and then it was about energy work. And took my first class, and my first experience with it was that when I was getting attunement, meaning that being attuned to Reiki.
Okay.
I don't know if it was explained before, just basically the Reiki is only called Reiki once you're getting attuned by a master, because it's just kind of like passed down from master to students. But there are other healing modalities out there, but the Reiki itself is just that attunement. That's the initiation of that energy. The best way I can explain it. And
basic
mm-hmm. And so my first attunement of Reiki energy was that I basically I was sitting down in a cross position, and then this pyramid was like
Oh, really?
protected me, and then all this light were just like coming in everywhere. And so that's when I was like, whoa, this stuff is real. For me. This experience of the energy was real, and so I got energy hungry. Right? Once you start discovering there's more things out there than just what you're experiencing, in your reality. And so then I started going into like other modalities. I went and finished my Reiki master, and then I wasn't satisfied enough, so I went and tried to discover what Reiki truly is. So I end up doing more attunement, more initiation, going into like shamanic Reiki, and then now with the holy fire Reiki, which is a different consciousness energy. And after that I just got more. I'm like, what is there more? And I know I'm babbling, but I'm just now
we're getting it.
Right. And so now I'm like, all right, what else is there? So I looked into a different healing modality. I looked into theta healing, and that's getting you into like a different dimension. And I was like, what is dimension? So going into a different dimension, and this is one way to heal as well. And then got into pranic healing, which deals with the aura, with a lot of colors. And then shamanic healing, and there's just a lot of healing, and they're all energy, and there's really, and then they're all tools, like the conscious tool that we have, and then we can definitely use this to heal ourselves. And so for me, the whole purpose of looking into the healing was to master myself, and that's all inner work. And I believe that when we all starts to do the inner work, we all be able to connect to our true self, who we are, connect to source, connect to God, consciousness, whatever you want to call it. But that's it. I mean, the inner work is like probably the number one thing I was working with. And then after that, once you do your inner work, you can experience it and then be able to help others. And that was my main intention, was to do inner work and also start helping others to provide that energy to help them heal themselves. Because I guess I just started to realize that everything is one. We are all one with everything. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm just doing a lot of inner work, especially with the kind of quieted it down from what we recognize from COVID. We just kind of quieted ourselves down and to just really go inner in. And that's the main work right now, is to do inner work. And I believe that I can't stress this enough, to do the inner work, because that's when we really truly know who we are. Because once we understand ourselves, we understand everybody. We understand people's pain, we understand each other, and we don't have to play like what Jean was saying earlier. We don't have to play in this game, this lower vibrational game, and we can just understand, I get it,
I get it.
And it's just, you see a different perspective. You're more like upper in the earth realm, like looking down, instead of being part of the chaos and the pain and the suffering.
And it's so easy to be in the to be down in the lower vibration.
Yes.
It's actually I call it a kind of the cop out area, or the comfort zone area, because that's where you give away your power. Basically, you give away your power and your responsibility to the system and to the people. Thank you, to the system and to the powers to be. The people that make all the rules and the regulations. They get to say what's what, and whether we wear a mask or not, or whether we're going to wear gloves, and who's going to come in and out, and what stores are going to. Those are the people that call the shots. But we don't have to cater to that. We have to apply by the rules, and we have to abide by the regulations, but we don't have to buy into the chaos. We don't have to buy into the fear. Okay, I wear a mask because you say so, but I'm not wearing a mask because I'm afraid that I'm going to get this disease. Because if I get this disease, like Joel was saying, if we understand that, do that inner work, and we understand who we are and what we are, then bring it on. Bring it on, because I've got the energy. I'm connected to source. I know I'm connected to source, and I have an assurity, and I have a confidence, and I have faith, and I strongly believe that if by chance COVID gets me, that I can be healed, I can be whole, I can come out of it, and I can come out of it walking out of that hospital alive, not in a box. But that's energy. That's energy, and that's how we recognize, embrace it, respect it, honor it, because it is. And I think that Joel shared with you his initiation into his passion, or his awakening of the passion. And it's funny. It's always, I shouldn't say funny, like he said. Why am I laughing? But it's interesting, the path of the awakening path that each one of us take. And each one of us have a unique path of an awakening. We all conscious. We've got a couple of 100 or so conscious co-creators, Facebook members. So we're all awakened. And if you stop and share your story of how you became aware and became awakened, and realize that you are more than this bodysuit that you wear. You're more than your social security number, or the address, or that car that you drive, or that job that you have, or any of the other labels that you wear. I want Joel to talk a little bit more about his awakening, and it was a journey. But I want to talk a little bit about that point of that near-death experience, and kind of go a little bit before it. When you were, I know you said you were in Birmingham. You were at some kind of event or something in Birmingham, and you talked a little bit about prior to that you had gone through some emotional stresses and issues and things like that. Kind of talk a little bit about your journey in that and how that kind of shook your world a little bit and shook your confidence and your, you know, how you reacted to it.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good. So when I was living in Birmingham, I was basically by myself. You know, my whole family was in Georgia, and so the friends that I have were my coworkers. So I really had to like learn how to be okay with myself, and you know, dealing with other stuff that's going on, because I wasn't able to see my family. You know, I used to drive. I mean, it's only 2.5 hour drive, but that takes like a lot of energy to like drive every weekend.
Yeah.
So after that, I started just do like, you know, twice a month, and then no months.
That stressed out.
Right.
I'll see you next
and
month,
then,
Mom.
and then mom's like, when are you gonna come visit? So
So you so basically you're saying that you kind of lost that connection with that support system that you had,
Right.
And you were kind of isolated in that at that time. Kind of everybody was over here, and here you were isolated.
And I think it was for me, nothing is accident.
Nothing is accident.
Right. And so
It was a path. It was your journey.
It was my path. Yeah. So I was in Birmingham for 4 years, and I feel like I had to learn something there, and it took those years. And you know, like she was saying, like we all have different paths in the spiritual journey, and you don't have to have you don't have to get hit by a car to like wake up. You know what I mean? You know, we but I think that's what happened to me. I mean, that's what I signed up for.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be that dramatic. You know,
Right.
Your awakening could be, you could wake up one morning and like Joel said, like he was sharing with how he had come to one of my classes, and we were talking about energy. You could be sitting in a class, or you could be sitting at a doctor's office, or you could be listening to you know, a friend talking to you and say something to you, and it'll just jog you awake, and you'll be like, wow, that had to be something over and beyond what the powers here can talk about, or can be, or can express, or can say, or can do. So what is this? So then you start, you know, yawning a little bit and questioning and looking around, and like Joel, he kept looking and searching, and the more he searched, that path that just opened up to you. So consequently, he walked into, you know, a car. He walked into the pathway of a car. That's hard. But look, he's here alive, and all that bright light that he saw. You know, they do tell me that you see bright light before you, you know, on the last journey.
Yeah, it's quite interesting, because I remember that, like when I was running up that hill, everything kind of slowed down. Like, you know, you get to that moment of like I'm getting an example when you're like in a panic, and like you're getting into that accident, like it's like the wave, the brain wave, and like where you see everything kind of slow down, and that's what happened. Everything just slowed down. I remember putting my headphone on and just like really like there was like shift of moment there, and then and you know, it was interesting, because you know, now I'm kind of like, they're kind of like telling me that when I was crossing, there was the crosswalk, it was on a countdown.
Oh.
And so it was,
so the numbers. Okay.
And so I didn't really, you know, remember that, but they're
reminding you.
They're reminding me. And then so it was interesting that was like my path, was like countdown to this new awakening, because I felt like when I was on that moment 5-6 years ago, I was asking for, you know, what my purpose here, who is God, like all that other stuff that we all look for, that connection. And so they definitely answered that. I definitely got my answer. Who I am at the moment. So
Joel, have you ever, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
You can find me back. I'm still here.
Yeah, sure.
But I'm going to ask this question. I hope you can hear me. You studied at Southern Polytech, KSU now. You graduated from Southern Poly with an engineering degree. Have you ever thought about the connection or that being part of your path, and how that came in, you know, just what am I doing there at Southern KSU studying electrical engineering? You know, have you figured out how that all ties in with your journey yet, or is that something that is yet to be be discovered? figured
Oh
out?
yes. So I actually part of when I started going into the energy world, like a lot of things were clicking. Like definition of like a circuit, resistance,
Yeah.
and like conductor. Like we are a body,
Mhm.
we're the conductor, and the circuit is coming in that energy, and the frequency. The lighter you are, the more energy you have. The more vibration you have. So when density, like the heavier you are, feel very down and lower vibration, you just feel all this pain and suffering in your body. And so I definitely connected with that. And one thing that really resonated with me was Nikolai Tesla. Tesla was a very
all about energy.
yeah,
He's
and
the first person to rock the world, you know.
yes, Tesla was very amazing because the way he invented was it all started in the imagination, in the mind. And so he will build, he will design, and he will test in his mind first and then recreate it into the reality. And I think he was the most amazing energy worker here. And of course he wasn't treated right just because he was different, but that's all off the books. But so he one of his quote was that in order to understand the universe,
You have to understand it.
you have, I'm kind of butchering this, but just know of the terms energy, frequency, and vibration, because he understood how it worked. So he definitely recreated what we have now, because without the alternating current, we wouldn't be able to get all this electricity, the AC, and so I think that's very beautiful. And so yes, I definitely understand now why I took the path of electrical engineering.
It helps you definitely helps you with understanding as you move along.
Because everything, like they said, everything is one. Like if you think about a wire, the wire has a conductor, and that conductor represents our body, and then the current is that energy that's coming into our body, and the current coming into that wire. And then the voltage, which is power, power is from source. And so it's like all this are just connecting, and we're just able to materialize into a material object. And like the same thing with vehicle.
With our imagination and our thoughts.
So,
That's everything that we experience and everything that we see. Any material that we see, it starts with our mind.
Correct.
Somebody's mind. It may not have been, my mind that came up with the Apple phone, but somebody had to imagine it before it came to be, and it was a thought first, and that's energy, and that energy eventually hardened into the objects that we use and objects that we see.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely.
So the body is somewhat, we call it a conductor of some sort. It conducts the energy from the mental thoughts and the vibrations that we use when we're talking and we're speaking and we're hearing, and the vision that we see, and all of those lights and things like that. The body processes it as just like another wire, just conduct it, and voila, here we are with our realities and the manifestations that we create and we manifest.
Right. So
let's see, one more question, and then I'm going to move into. You talked about something, and I really probably want to come back and talk to you about this. I may have to sit down and talk to you about this myself. Shamanic.
Okay.
Shamanic. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about those of whole. I want to talk about this new technique, and I'm kind of excited to talk about it because I had an experience with it last week when you did a session with me, and you called it your heart activation. And it's a healing modality as well. So tell us, hi guys, tell us a little bit about, I'm on my cell phone tonight, so the photographer is absent. So we got Apple did it, iPhone, love it. So anyway, talk to me a little bit about the session, about activation. What is heart activation? What's the purpose of it? Why, I can tell you what good it does for me, but tell me how you sell it to our folks out there.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Is that good?
Yeah, I think you can
Okay.
come in there.
We're trying to get us both in the screen. There you go.
Yes. So definitely. So basically, this is called was I received a download. So this is the whole thing about inner work. This is the whole thing about inner work is that when you start working on yourself. So I actually probably like the last quieted 3 months, I was working on myself. I was getting doing a lot of inner child healing through one of my friend. So she and I call her Angel Anita because she's been working with me, and so we kind of went through all these all our major chakras, which we'll talk about in a minute. And each chakra has an inner child that sometimes it needs to come to the surface. And like I said, everything's energy, so you can definitely heal that inner child's energy. And when you heal that inner child, you ascend more. You gain more power within yourself. And so that's what was happening was I was working all of my chakras with inner child, and and I think probably like the last 3 months, that's what I've been doing is just me and her and I were just working those. And so with that, it opens you up to like more work, more inner work, and opens you up to like this possibility of knowing who you are. And so with that, knowing who you are, you start to connect with source. You start to connect with your divine team. You start connect with your guides, with they're here for you. Like ask and it shall be given. And I was asking for inner wisdom. And so kind of with that, the heart chakra really, the heart was like the main thing. Center. Yes.
The center.
So when you open up your heart, if you think about it, it's connected to everything, your brain, your organs, your eyes, just all of that. And so when we start looking into how, if we open up our heart, it's a lot difference because we're coming from the heart. It's because our heart connects to everything.
It has.
Your higher self, source, your family, like your organs, just everything. And so that's what so with that, with the inner work, I had downloaded, they basically, I got a download of like what I went through as far as like opening up my heart. My team, source, wanted to give this to everybody, opening up our hearts, because right now we're going through a lot of fear. Fear of the COVID, fear of this, the riots and but this is all like part of knowing who we are, and how do we deal with those. And so with the opening of the heart, it will give us more of like love. And that's all, like at the end of the day, that's what we are, is love. And so, and I wanted to, so yes, so I was into I did a Reiki share, and then basically they had asked me, hey, we would like to, my team, my divine team, which is we all have access to.
Right.
Like I'm not different than each
one of you.
Yeah, we all have access to. If we really want to get to know who they are, we just ask.
Absolutely.
Because we have free
and
will.
they will tell you.
Yes.
They will tell you who they are.
Yeah, and we have free will. So like a lot of people don't want it. So they can't force themselves unless it's you're ready for it. And so I was ready for it. I was ready for everything, because I really realized that when I was going through my spiritual journeys, that it really helped me a lot in understanding people, understanding where they're coming from now. And so with the heart opening up, I was doing a Reiki share, and my team, my divine team and source was like, hey, we want to download this where you can basically activate and share it to the world. Because once it's opened, you have more possibilities of love, and get rid of like experiencing the other stuff that's not really for your highest good. And so I would love to ask Jean, we did the heart activation upgrade last week, and so I wanted to ask her how it was your experience.
Oh wow. The experience itself was awesome. It was I hate to use the word awesome because it sounds so kid. It was eye-opening. It was an educational experience for me. basically. But besides that, the after effects of it was a healing experience for me, because I have been going through some things with my heart, and I have a very kind of a unique kind of relationship with my heart, because as a child, one of the things that we were taught as children was to guard and protect our hearts, and my grandmother, being the unique person that she was, gave us instructions, specific instructions as children, very young children, to protect it and how to protect it. But being a child, you don't understand why you're doing it. You just do because grandmama said so, or mama said so, or if you don't do it, then this is going to happen, and you want to make them happy, and so you did it. I don't please mom and grandma. So I just did it, and without an understanding. So the whole experience opened my understanding up to what my grandmother was trying to teach me at 7, and we're talking young, even younger than 7, 5, 6 years old. And here I am. I ain't gonna tell you how old, but I'm much older than 7. Okay. So after all these years, now it's like I understand, and it was like, there she was. I had my divine team was there too, and there my grandmother. She was here. She was right here with me, and she was like, I told you would understand it in the by and by. She was just jumping up and down, and she was excited. The by and by got here. That's what by and by. This is by and by, Gene. So now I finally understood the connection of the heart and what she actually meant all those years about guarding and protecting and reverencing and honoring your heart. And one of the things that I appreciated with all of that, I mean, I've gone through blocking and unblocking my chakras and healing my chakras many times, from the root all the way up to the crown, chakra. So I knew and understood that, but just understanding that the heart being the center, and she made it very clear that out of your heart flows life and in and out and every good and whatever, good, bad, or indifferent thing, it starts and goes and starts there. So I understood that, and just the fact that his divine team was there, and it was so interesting for me, because my divine team, I wasn't like saying, we're gonna do a party, y'all. So all of a sudden here they're like, what's he doing? What are we getting ready to do? So they all just kind of crowded around like a big party. So he had his team on that side, I had my team on the other side. And what was really interesting is a friend of mine came into the room, Elizabeth, you met her. She came we were in another room, and she kind of walked through, and she just felt all of that spiritual energy. Well, the energy, she just felt it. Just, it was just, she said it was just tremendous. So it was awesome. But what was unique about it, I'm going to ask him to share. He used some vibration. He used some additional vibration with the drums and the ohms and the chanting and the mantras that we did. So I'm going to let him kind of talk a little bit about that. But it was such it was awesome. It was very, very awesome. And then he scanned my body. He scanned the rest of my chakras, and he found a couple of other blockages, and he removed some things and did some light work in those areas as well. So if you get an opportunity, or if you just, I say, even if you're not even aware that you need it. And so most of the times, until we really educated on the chakras and the system and the energy, the energy that you are, and understand that, you may not really realize that. But after you have that first session, and Elizabeth and any Reiki master could tell you that you are going to get a benefit from it. You're going to get a benefit from it, and it's going to be a notable benefit. It's not going to be something like, I didn't feel anything. Well, you know what? You may not have felt it, but when you give it a day or two, or by the time you get home, you're gonna notice the difference. You are going to be able to call that person up that did that session on you and express, because I couldn't wait to text, God, you just never know what happened, you would never believe it. And it's still happening. It's still happening, mm-hmm. Because my heart has been activated up to a level that it wasn't in prior. And that activation has opened me up to, I don't even know what yet. I honestly do not know what else yet. But I know that Soars and my divine team and Joal's team, everything that they do and everything that we do is for our higher good. So whatever is to become of it, whatever is to be exposed or expressed, because of this activation, it's going to be good. It's going to be all good. We may be doing something great and different with with our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, my practice, my life coach practice. Who knows what Source has in mind in using or having me benefit, or having any and everybody benefit from the activation process. And that would be in any case, any Reiki master, whenever you get a healing, trust me, it's not just for you. It's for, you're connected to Source. We're all connected. We are all one, y'all. And what is good for you, if it's for the higher good, it's for the lower good. It's for all of the good. It's for all of our good. So think about it. Think about that. But I hope I'm being as excited as I feel about it. I'm excited for the concept of it, because just knowing what I knew as a child, and it all came home after all these years, I can't wait to get my kids involved. I can't wait for Jerry and my daughters to really understand it and be a part of it. I even want to go over and maybe have you do, just do a little session with my mom. Who knows? Because we benefit from being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Health is our inheritance, just like any other gift that Source has provided or made it accessible to us. We just have to grab it. We have to get it. We have to take advantage of it and bring it into our reality, into our existence. If you have an apprehension about it, read about it, study about it. Give us a call. Joal, Elizabeth, I can name several other Reiki masters. Sandra's a Reiki master as well. They will love to either sit down and have a class with you. They'll put together a little workshop for you to give you more understanding and maybe some hands-on experience for it. We're planning to do a session maybe on one of our broadcasts. So yeah, I don't know if I can be any more excited, but I want you to hear the drum.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about buying one of these drums. Okay?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, definitely. This is, like I said, this is not. This is from Source, and so this is, from the loving divine team of yours as well. So what's gonna happen is that they're gonna be doing most of the work. You're gonna be doing most of the work, because we're just facilitating this energy. And so this is a gift from Source. And so if you're just open to allowing this energy to come in, you have free will. You don't have to accept it, but this is like divinely given. And so like I said, we're all just vessels here, and we're all here for one another. And like what she experienced and what other people experience, when your heart opens up, you don't know what's gonna happen, but you know that you feel that there is more love, more possibilities of your journey, whatever it is, and it's really up to you now on how you would want to use it, to serve yourself or to serve others. But it's a gift from Source, and I'm honored to be able to facilitate that energy towards you guys out there, towards people in the room at this moment. And so so I would love to introduce my drum.
Oops.
And so I love using this because it's a shamanic drum, and it just got the very vibrational sound that gets me in tune, like connects with my team, my divine team, and Source. So we ready? If you guys are ready, we can go ahead and start. And so how it's gonna work is that from what I'm being guided to, we're gonna go do a clearance. So if you guys don't know what chakras are, you guys can look it up. But we all have energy anatomy. So we have physical anatomy and energetic anatomy. Goes from aura and then chakras and then the meridians. So you guys can look those up if would like. But we do have 7 main chakras, and I think.
And we all have 7.
Right.
Everyone all the same. So we're going to do kind of a general. We're going to do a general clearing.
Yes. So we're just going to do a general clearing, and also we'll love to add in the teams that's going to be in there. So they're going to be like the ET beings. Yeah, so they're celestial
beings.
Yes.
And some of them, if you have your team available, if you're aware of that process or that if that's available to you.
Right.
If you have your ancestors, and that my team is made up of my ancestors, some of my ancestors, and some other folk. I have some spirit animals as well.
Right.
But
bring them
if
in.
you
They
know
love.
if you know that, invite them because they understand it all. They understand it, and with that connect with them available to you, even after today, with the general, they can help you understand what's happened and what's going on with you in the future after
Right.
today. But we're going to do a general here right now, and I'm ready.
Right. And
Are
so,
you ready? We got a few people here with us tonight.
Yeah.
So y'all ready?
Yeah.
all right.
Everybody's
so-
ready.
Yeah.
Everybody's ready. We get ready. A general clearing.
Yeah, so we're
Okay.
just gonna do a general clearing, and then I would like to just be open to this possibility, even if you're just listening in. I just want you guys to close your eyes and bring in your team. They love working with you guys, like they want you to work with them. But ask for a very high energetic team, high vibrational team. And so let's get started and let's do some work. And so I want you guys to just close your eyes at this moment, and I want you to just take in 3 deep breaths. Last breath into your heart. Like we said earlier, your heart, we're opening up your heart. Your heart opens up to your mind, body, and spirit. Your heart connects you to your high vibrational galactic ancestors. Your high vibrational spirit guides and spirit animals. Your high vibrational archangels, your angel team. Mother Gaia. So we're just gonna set an intention at this moment. Intention is everything. What is your intention at this moment? And just listen to your heart. Listen to the beat of your heart. So what we're gonna do is just bringing in a blue and green light on top of our head, which is our crown chakra, and bringing in our celestial team, the Atlanteans, to clear any stagnant energy that's not needed at this moment. Shomayana sukurino statana tukurukushana sayanati sukurona tukurukuloko nasina. Grashisa na tukurukuyo no sonotora na sadayara kurugusha na situkuronona. Now bringing in that blue-green light into your third eye. Third eye is between your eyebrow, above your nose. Bringing in that blue-green light, clearing anything that's not needed with the beings of the Atlanteans. The Atlantean beings are very water element. Imagine like mermaids, as we call them, but they're very beautiful beings that are here to serve and to help us if we ask. So they're helping clearing anything that's in our third eye that's not needed at this moment. Okarayana karashusha na tukusha kanata kalaro kuyamana sikatikusha konoyotusta tanat tutumaya nasika tukuroyona tastarutu konayanasi. Bringing in the blue-green light into your throat chakra. Throat chakra is in your throat. Bringing the beings of the Atlanteans, clearing anything that is not for our highest good at this moment, in the now. The now is the most important moment in our life. It is what it is. It is the now. It is done. So clearing anything in this moment, clearing anything that's not needed. Yakashika na yana sukorino kalakanak kushuko tukusuno ayagurugush kanatista tatuna manasika natushika na yanana kalakarkuna sina. Now bringing in this blue and green light into the heart chakra with the Atlantean beings, clearing anything that is not in this moment, to be ready to open up our hearts to the activation upgrade after all the chakra clearing. Letting go of everything at this moment. Karayana si karakara solar plexus, it's between our chest and the navel. Bringing the Atlantean, clearing anything that is not needed at this moment. Yakarakushna tato kurunuto koyonata stita no kurokoma sakara shidantara. Clearing anything in this moment, going into our sacral, our self-relationship of who we are. Bringing in the blue and green light and the Atlanta beings. Clearing anything that's not needed at this moment for a higher good. Now bringing in the blue-green light into the root, our foundation of lives, our survival of who we are. Bringing that blue-green light with the Atlantean beings, clearing anything at this moment. Yakarnuka na takara yasika takono. Yakarkuyo na sataka na tukupa tastita na turyona. Imagine roots coming out of your toes, being grounded back to Mother Gaia. Blue and green light, clearing anything that is in our path, that is not for our highest good. Move forward, move forward. Yisha na sika na tukuro na sayana. This moment, just taking a deep breath into your heart. We're gonna go ahead, your team is ready. If you guys are ready, we're gonna go ahead and do the heart chakra activation upgrade. Like we said before, this is a gift from source and you are welcome to accept it. And so at this moment, would it be okay? They're asking for permission to do this upgrade to your heart. You can say it loud, yes,
Yes. Yes.
or inside. All right. All right. So I want you guys to just imagine your heart. It doesn't really, it's up to you how you imagine it. I imagine my heart as a lotus flower and imagining my heart opening up like a lotus flower, and it's really your imagination on what your heart looks like. It could be a throne. Just really connecting with your heart, connecting with source, connecting with your divine team. Call them in. All right, so each one of us will have different experiences, but we all are connected, so we all will be working together as one. And so when your heart is open, there there is this crystal, old energy that is needed to come out. And so your team, your divine team, source is ready to remove that stagnant energy and bring in the new. Is that okay?
Yes.
So I want you to just imagine them, your team, removing this crystal, removing this old energy out of there. And you might feel a little bit of emptiness or slight heaviness. And so they're just gonna bring in, so they removed it, just imagining them removing it. And we're just gonna go ahead and bring in a gold white light to fill this hole. So imagine your team filling this hole with gold white light from source. So you might feel warmth, how's everybody doing? Hope that everyone's doing good. And just be open and just feel the energy from source. Feel the all love, the unconditional love from your team, from source and from each other. This light, this gold white light into your heart. So let's take in a deep breath into our heart, opening up our heart again. Shisana tukoroyuno tastina kurukoshakaniya tusukurokonoya tasikatakanuyu shukorono la tustatanati karakoshanata sukurokoma tasikiyana tusukoronosta. Your teams are here for you. Ask for help if needed. And so now, right at this moment, they're ready to bring in the new energy. If it's a new crystal, just imagining bringing this new energy, new crystal into your heart chakra, into your heart. So you might feel a little bit of warmth and heaviness just because of the energy coming in from your team. At this moment, they would love to ask if there's any vibrational words such as love or trust to infuse this into your heart. And you can either say it out loud or, in your mind with intention. Everything is intention. So at this moment, your team's infusing these vibrational words into your new, upgraded, activated heart, turning it on, and just feel the white gold light into this heart chakra. Just feel that energy of love, 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 love from your source, from the source, our main power, filling up and just remembering who you are. Remembering that you are part of source. You are connected to everything. At this moment, they would like to ask you guys to set an intention for this moment, and whatever it is that you would like to have intention in with this new energy into your heart. All right. Everyone's like really happy and just very proud of you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, for answering the call. Thank you for being the light and love for each other. Thank you for just loving and just understanding each other. Thank you for doing the work. Thank you for everything. And their source is happy, and your divine team is very proud to be part of this journey that you guys are having. So right now at this moment, they're ready to seal this heart. So we're gonna bring in a gold white light into the heart, sealing it with love, pure love, unconditional love from source. Lighting up that heart. Shizanatu kunita tanatu kuroyoshana tayurona taro kurokomayata sikatisha sanuro. Yakarokuroshana tataro kurokonayata kistanatus. Connecting to source is very beautiful. Great job, everybody. So at this moment, I want you guys to just settle in, and we just would like to appreciate and thank our divine team. Just like to appreciate our divine team, Source, the Atlanteans, the Arcturians, the Archangels that are here for our transformation, our activation into our heart. So at this moment, we're just gonna take a few seconds, minutes to just settle in and just feel the heart from source, feel this beautiful energy. Just embodying love, the gold white light, embodying our divine team. We are one with all. So we would like to say thank you to the source for giving us life, for giving us this experience. We'd like to thank the divine team that was here to help assist this activation. And we would love to appreciate all the people, all the souls that are here and now on Facebook and YouTube listening in. And just hug yourself, just love yourself, because this is the work that everyone needs to do, is to remember who you are. Let's just take in deep breaths. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Yes, namaste.
Ooh. Everything's so bright.
Right.
Oh, no.
That's just about our event tonight. We are excited, and really thank you so much, Joal, for being with us tonight. We may call you in for another activation one of these days,
Yeah,
or for
let's
another
do it.
general Reiki session. We've got access to, right now we've got access to 3 different Reiki masters, and we're gonna meet actually a spiritual leader, a spiritual teacher, or a spiritual guide, or he is actually live and well on this side of the spirit world. We're gonna be meeting with him, Asar. He's going to come in next month. We talked about extending our light work session into July. So we will be doing that. We're going to have a couple of folk coming in from into July to talk a little bit more about some other light work practices and modalities, if you will. Actually, I'm trying to get hold of a shamanic. Actually, I have one. I have my own mentor. She's a shamanic practitioner, amongst other things. She's like a therapist as well. So I'm going to try to get her to come down from Cartersville. I may have to go up to Cartersville to do a session with her to record, to bring down to you all. But she's pretty awesome. She actually, if you are interested in doing shadow work, that's probably her expertise, is doing shadow work. We'll talk a little bit about shadow work at another time, but that's another modality too. You want to get in there and heal some of those past life experiences or issues that your subconscious has gotten hidden away from you and you can't get up to the surface. She can help you with that. Sometimes she actually helps you with identifying your spiritual guides, like a lot of your team itself. And we all have access to them, and she'll help you. I help you with identifying who they are and inviting them into or being a part of your spiritual team. We all have access to them. Source provided those for us, and they have a heart to be a part of our journey. So she can help you with that. And she'll talk to you a little bit about that. It's not something that most of what these the practitioners, like the Reiki masters that you meet, folk that are doing the light work kind of work, you can do it. It's something that you can do. It's just that source is available to you. That's just like it's available to myself and to Joal, and it was available to Elizabeth and Sandra and all of any other folk that you meet that I bring on to meet with you. So, saying that, you're all light workers, and I ordain you light workers tonight. You're all light workers.
Awesome.
Thanks so much for being with us tonight. I love you guys. You know I do. And you got this new crystal, this new stuff going on in your heart now. You're gonna be loving off the chain, like me. Like, you're gonna be vibrating so fast that where did she go? Where did he go? Anyway, we love you guys. Thanks for being a part of our journey, my journey. Thanks for allowing me to be a part of yours. Be good, stay connected, and remember you are one with the universe. You're one with me. You're one with absolutely everybody you see that's walking around on this side of in 3D and on this side of heaven. Y'all take care, and I'll see ya next week.
Bye.
Take care.